Okay. So now what we're going to do is focus on making this a little bit more friendly to look at. Lighter weight, lighter feel, and also correlated to the scan, which is the photo that we've taken of the food, photo that the parent has taken of the food. So let's go back and reference for our 2x4 nutrient gauge grid. Nutrient gauge grid. Let's replace it with a day nutrient summary card that looks like the following. It has a white background, like the meal does not support section, although it remains a separate section. And it has three vertical sections. The very top section is a header no more than 10%, let's say 7% of its height. The second section will be its scanned photo, scan button, or scan photo section, where a button, a percentage, a number in percents, and a large button that says scan meal appear at once, or appear centrally. One on either side of the center axis of the screen. The number displays at about 25% of screen width, say 20% of screen width, and the photo scan button green appears at about 20% of screen width. Bottom, the third section, is a 4x2 4x2 section, or it's a 4x2 grid of circular gauges. Spell gauges. Gauges. Each for one of our nutrients. Iron, iodine, probiotics, fiber, B vitamins, choline, calcium, and omega-3. And we have some more to add here, but this is good to start. We did not specify the second and third section heights, so we said 7% for the top section. That's narrow. We want our other section to be about, let's split the difference between the two, maybe a little bit of bias towards our round gauges, because we want them to be big and feel a little bit bold. So let's say the section will be scan button. Very top is the header, no more than 7% of the height. The second section is 45% of the, what are we calling this again? Nutrient summary card. Height. And then the third section will be 55%. Well, that's not adding up, right? I need 7% from 100. That gives me 93, and then I need to offset that. So I've got 46% times, let's say, 45. So 20, actually. So this should be 21%. Is that? No. No, that's not right. Yeah, that's incorrect. 93% times 0.5 times what? Make it 90%. Yeah, 41% is fine. 41%. 41 plus 7. 48. 48%. Of the height for our nutrient summary card. Four by 2 grid of circular gauges. All right, let's try this. One other thing. When scan meal button, make sure that we're getting everything we need. Yes, when the scan meal button is clicked, we need to display the photo we took as the photo the phone took. Use a placeholder. Use the attached placeholder. So let's go and get something that looks good. Some chicken marsala, right? Okay. let's say that this is the photo. Okay, looks good. Let's let it marinate on that and come back. Okay, and after our prompt was completed and one or two other tweaks, we have a much lighter upper section that is frankly pretty intuitive, right? We see that we have 5 low nutrients, and we actually see, we get a feel for where those nutrients are when it comes to our daily values. And of course, the color that the nutrient is with respect to where it is on its daily value correlates to what we have in our mapping down here, right? And we can see which competencies are impacted. Still needs some UI work on making sure that the competencies stand out, but that the color relationship between them and the nutrients is there. But overall, I think this is a good direction. We still have what this meal does not support, which in a real app would be carouseling to some extent, not at lightning speed. And of course, we have our 5 low nutrients here. Big upgrade here, I think, is that the scanning is on the page now. So previously, we were going to have a scan button only accessible in the bottom tab, and then this screen would show up with the results. And now this is the screen that shows up from the beginning, and by default, all this would be empty. We would scan a meal, we get a photo. This is a lovely photo of some chicken marsala here, right? And based on what our AI model returns to us, these gauges will populate, this information will populate, and our database will say, hey, okay, because Gemini says that calcium, fiber, and iron are low, then you're risking emotional control, or at least this meal does not support emotional control or cognitive speed for your child. So this is the why. Why should I care? This is the relationship of the why to the actual tracked metrics. This is the evidence that what we're tracking is actually related to the input that you gave us. So this is interesting. This is an interesting journey that we're on here. This is better than where we started, but this is not, by any means a finished product. The next step is going to be, there's 2 next steps. The challenge that we have at this point is that our standard, and any standard that you look at, is based on daily value. So even scanning one meal is going to, it's not going to tell us about the other meals that you have over the course of the day. To make this page more accurate, what I did was I changed the calibration on these gauges such that if you get over 30% for this one meal that you're scanning, if you get over 30% on anything, then you're in the green, and that's good. If you are 20%, you're in the yellow. If you're if you're 30 to 20%, you're in the yellow, and if you're 20 to 10, you're in orange, and then if you're under 10, you're red. So this is a calibration that is reflective of what we can expect from each meal. However, we have to remember breakfast is going to actually be the meal where you get certain things, whereas dinner might be the meal that you get others. These are not going to be even for every meal. So that's one of the main challenges that we have to consider in terms of accuracy and in terms of the cohesion of the story that we're telling. We also need to think about how we want to present recommendations to the parent. We want to maintain sort of a lightweight but accurate feel. So we don't need to get too much in the weeds, but we do want to show them some way to alleviate this problem. Another thing we can think about is potentially, instead of saying what nutrients are low, I see that, I feel that, we can add a suggestion here that says, hey, add some of this juice to the meal, add some green beans, add something that is high in the things that you're low in, and that will help you bring these into the green. So interesting evolution. Let's continue and move forward.